Dogs are more like us. They need to be out with nature. They need exercise. They need fresh air. They need sun and sunlight and sun exposure. They need very varied fresh foods. They need stimuli, like things to sniff. You know, the other day I was talking to an owner and she said, you know, I think my dog's getting old because he doesn't want to go around the 3 blocks I always do every day anymore. Because it's boring. You know, this dog already knows every single smell of every single leaf on the way, and he wants to go elsewhere. So this exploration, this desire for the new, dogs have a lot. And it's upon us offering that to them that we actually see their potential and actually de-stress them a lot. So, you know, dogs that are a little hyper, what they need is they need to run around, they need to sniff, they need to meet other dogs, sniff everybody's butt. And they need that like on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, and they need kind of a lot of that. And then of course they need, again, like the cats, a safe spot to rest. They need a lot of love, a lot of hugging, a lot of forgiveness from us because they do the things and we get angry and they look in our eyes and they want to see that we relax. That's their cue that it's okay, whatever happened. If they chew your favorite shoe, you know, and you go, no, my favorite shoe. Okay, it's just a shoe. And they, you know, immediately they're happy when they see that you de-stress after this tension that we acquire, and immediately they tense up with us because they have no idea why we're tense. But they know that it's not a good thing. So those things are very, very important. Actually, many times we forget how important they are. You know, the cleanliness of their environment, the cleanliness of their bowls, the cleanliness of these containers that we buy to pour the food into. The fact that, you know, bags of dog food now have come a long way and they've become, you know, very, very good at sealing oxygen, sealing sunlight. But many times we get rid of them, we throw them out, and we have this major container, particularly people that have big dogs. They'll pour a 20-pound thing into that. And then when that is running low, not quite out, there's a bottom there, they pour another one on top. So this kind of behavior is going to be fostering quite a few bad things. For example, fats that have coated these containers will become rancid. They're going to allow for the growth of molds. And there are going to be mites, little mites that live on flour and things like that. They're going to breed inside this food. These dogs are going to eat these mites down the line, eventually maybe, and actually going to potentially become allergic, have allergies. Or if there's molds growing these fats on these containers, we actually might have much bigger problems. There's all sorts of toxins that can breed in these locations, and some of them are fatal. So of course it depends on dose, you know. A little bit of some poison, you might become a little ill and have some transient diarrhea, but a lot of it, you might have seizures and die. I have seen that, and it's something that we need to be more aware when we have more natural products. You see, we're embarking on a road of more natural stuff. More natural stuff means it's not a Twinkie, and the year 2050 is not going to be looking like that anymore. So there's a lot less preservatives in these natural things, and we must realize that. We must be a little more consistent with washing these bowls. We're using raw food. The dog ate everything, licked it pretty darn clean, but it's not 100% clean. And we have a 2-year-old that is very curious, going around. The ball falls in there. Now this kid is exposed to bacteria that probably the kid might not be able to handle. So with that, I want to say that whenever I look at a pet, just here, you know, and even if all these dogs belong to the same person, they would have different needs. But they don't belong to the same people. And some dogs are very healthy, and they can take a lot of abuse or a lot of bacteria, let's say, in their gut. But their owner may not be. Their owner might be an 80-year-old woman on dialysis, and she can't handle that. God forbid that she forgets to wash her hands, or she prepares the food over here and then makes a sandwich right on top, or something disgusting like that. She can be very, very ill. So people that are very old, people that are very young, people that are on medication, chemotherapy, these people, they cannot take the exact same attacks that the world puts out, and it's almost risky for us to recommend this kind of thing. So it's very important to realize that there is not one formula for every dog, nor one formula for the same dog in different households. We must realize that it's just like us. If we all went to restaurants, the same restaurant, the huge menu, very few of us would actually pick the same thing. And that we eat differently because we agree with certain foods more than the others. It's not only likes and dislikes, but some of us want to lose weight, gain weight. Some of us disagree with certain things or are allergic to certain things or just totally dislike certain things. Or certain things give gas or certain things, make you itchy or whatever, make you pee, make your pee smell funny. I've heard amazing things. So anyway, asparagus, to specify. So in any case, there are going to be very, very different tastes in this group of people. There's different tastes in groups of dogs. And dogs are much more varied than cats. Cats all are kind of between 8 and 12 pounds, most of them. But dogs, the variation we have. We have tremendous variation from Chihuahuas to Great Danes, and from their ability to eat certain foods because their mouths are tiny, or they have no teeth, or they have gigantic teeth. They need big bones, or tiny mouths that can only take little bones. So whenever I say this is a good idea, just take that into account, that it's not going to be a good idea across the board, because there are no good ideas across the board, aside from freshness, aside from organic, or pesticide-free, let's put it that way. So there are certain things that are truths across the board, but nutrition is usually not one of them. Nutrition is very individualized. And a holistic vet will actually take that into account, because the dog doesn't come there ringing the doorbell. There's an owner attached to it. There's a couple of kids with that dog. The dog might live with a cat, might live with a more dominant dog, whatever. So a holistic vet will look at the whole, not only of that pet, because the pet is one whole, but the pet lives in a microcosmos that has to be taken into account.